Hello there.
We would be honored if you would join us.
I've been looking forward to this.
Blind! Deploy the garrison! Move!
Now this is pod racing.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
This is where the fun begins.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
You stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder.
You underestimate my power! You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them! Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness! You're my brother, Anakin! I love you!
We're keepers of the peace, not soldiers.
Once more, the Sith will rule the galaxy. And we shall have peace.
Hey everybody, how you doing? You got tuned into Keepers of the Peace podcast here. Joined always here by Nick and Kevin. We haven't been around in probably about 2 weeks now. We're kind of just trying to let things gather a little bit before we kind of just jump on everything that's
Let the
already
news
been
stir up.
coming out. Yeah, exactly. Let some things build up and marinate. And, we're here to talk about tonight. We know that they've been announced for probably about 2 weeks now, but we're going to talk about the MCU Phase 4 dates and what's coming up, what to be looking for with Marvel and the cinematic universe moving on after Endgame and that giant event. So we'll go over everything MCU Phase 4 related. After that, we're going to jump into some Bad Batch. I'm going to let Nick and Kevin here kind of take the wheel. I'm a little bit behind, so they're gonna fill me in. So spoilers alerted right now. So you've been told. We'll remind you again when we get into that section of the podcast if you'd like to skip past it if you're not someone who likes spoilers. We usually try and keep things spoiler free, but I need to be caught up, so I am allowing spoilers for that. After we talk Bad Batch, we will be moving into some DC news to reflect, to mirror some Marvel. There's a lot going on with DC right now.
Balance in the Force.
Yeah, exactly. Balance in the Force. DC, there's just a lot going on right now. They got Long Halloween Part 2 announced, and if you didn't listen to our last podcast, we talked about the Part 1. So if you're wanting to catch up, we do a nice little review of that. Mostly spoiler free. We got Green Lantern in the works, apparently in DC. We've got a Flash movie with Michael Keaton apparently in the works. A Batgirl movie just got announced. A Batman animated series with producers like J.J. Abrams and a couple more that we'll talk about. And then just recently, an Injustice animated series, which is going to be huge. Whether you've played the games, read the books, done both, like we have, I'm sure you'll be looking forward to it as much as us. So lots going on there. We'll get to it. We'll cover it all. And we're going to wrap up the night with some more Star Wars stuff. We're going to talk some producers and some people that have been put in power, put in charge of some future Star Wars stuff, the future of Lucasfilm. We'll talk a little more about the Bad Batch and what's coming up and stuff like that. And we'll kind of talk and take a look at some new exclusive Funko Pops that were just released. They're Mandalorian
like an hour ago.
Funko Pops. So those would be wicked cool. So to jump right in, Marvel Phase 4. They've announced quite a bit of material here to
Hmm.
be coming out, and I'm sure with COVID, things would be a little bit up in the air.
Yeah. I feel like there should be an
Um,
asterisk on every date.
right, exactly. So, this is predicted. These are when these are predicted to come out, and we're to kick it off. There's Black Widow that's supposed to come out May 7th. Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings, comes out July 9th, 2021. We have Eternals on November 5th, 2021. Spider-Man No Way Home, December 17th, 2021. Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness, comes out March 25th, 2022. Thor, Love and Thunder, May 6th, 2022. Uh, and we got Black Panther, which I believe they've changed the title. I'm not
Already
sure.
again? Because they changed it like
I'm
when
not.
they changed it to
I,
that.
I I'm not sure. Right. Okay. I'm not really sure. But that's supposed to come out July 8th, 2022. Captain Marvel 2 comes out November 11th, 2022. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 comes out in 2023. We have Blade, Quantumania, and Fantastic Four, all slated for some time in 2023. So that's like
That was
that's
good.
like not that's not even everything. That's not even everything.
That's not the shows.
Uh,
Like Loki comes out next month.
we've already got WandaVision. We've already had Falcon Winter Soldier, but Loki next week. What If? Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Secret Invasion,
They got so much
Ironheart,
coming.
Armor Wars, I Am Groot, and as in the holiday special Guardians of the Galaxy, which
I think that'll be
I'm,
better
I'm
than
sure it's
everything.
gonna be hilarious. It's
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
feel
the best.
I feel like
It's
I'm looking
easily,
forward
it's
to that
easily
more
gonna
than
be the
half the
best.
movies.
Easily gonna be the best.
I'm looking forward to that more
Um,
than Black Widow. Hello, Matt.
Sorry, my computer kind of froze for a sec.
It's deep in
Uh,
thought
so anyway,
about how good it's gonna be.
yeah, it's gonna be great. So that is everything coming out. All the shows don't really have dates besides Loki,
Loki.
which is just then the one that's most recently announced. But everything after that, like What If up to the Guardians of the Galaxy special, they're all slated between 2021 and 2022. So we can expect to see them all within 2 years. So with things getting back on track, seems like Marvel's gonna have a lot to put out. So what do you guys think?
I mean, I'm pretty pumped for it, regardless of COVID or not, just because we're getting more content as it is. Um, I'm pretty pumped for Shang-Chi. I don't really give a shit about Black Widow just because
Oh,
it's been
she's
so
already
much.
been dead for like 3 years.
It's already been dead, yeah. I mean, like, I'll still watch it regardless, just because I'm MCU fan by heart. But I'm
Scarlet
really
Joe
pumped.
fanboy.
Of course.
Shang-Chi's one of these like new heroes that's just like being introduced. It's like brand new that like not too many people know about.
I was gonna say, is this the first character that they've introduced? Well, first like hero in Phase 4, right? Like an
in a
anything.
way, yeah, I think so, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Well, yeah. Who else was introduced? I think he is the beginning of it. So it's kind of like a breath of fresh air of something new.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which would be cool.
Yeah. I actually have like a pop figure of Shang-Chi that I got the other day, so he's with my other ones over there in the corner. He's
nice.
taken out of the box, but
Hell yeah.
So, but yeah.
I mean, I think Spider-Man's gonna be probably where I think things start to get a little crazy.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
that's definitely gonna like spark with the conflict of Phase 4. Shang-Chi's gonna be more of like an introduction, kind of like I feel like it's gonna be like a Doctor Strange. Like it'll have its own villain, and it'll have its own plot, and it'll just kind of be like an introductory story. But yeah, Spider-Man. Spider-Man can't have a movie without naming 3 other people in the MCU at this point. So there's probably gonna be a villain introduced. I think the multiverse is gonna be introduced, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. Because we've already got confirmation that like Alfred Molina is like been on says is in it, and the other two Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. So I mean, I think we can definitely expect to see some multiverse stuff start to happen, some implications.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's I think the movie that I'm most excited for that's coming up like soon.
Yeah, coming out soon, definitely Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very interested in Eternals.
I feel like I don't know that much about the Eternals. Like, what is
That's
Eternals?
why I'm kind of psyched about it. I hope I learn a little something.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure myself.
Have you know?
In the comics, I believe they're like basically like the first like mutants, I guess, in a way. So.
So not the New Mutants, but the first mutants.
Like the first like mutated, humans. But I'm just like I'm interested to see how it is, just because like I guess like the movie's gonna take place like in the past, and then like it's gonna come into present day. I don't know if you saw like like that little like trailer that we got like 2 weeks ago about all the movies and stuff, and showed like
and like the little snippets of the Eternals.
Yeah. So that's what I heard about it, but
Yeah,
it looks interesting.
definitely, absolutely looks interesting. I mean, in the overall run, I mean, definitely. I mean, I love Guardians of the Galaxy, so I mean, I Volume 3, I just can't wait.
Yeah, me too.
Even though that doesn't have a date yet,
It'll probably be
we
June
can
of
dream.
whatever year it's coming out.
Yeah, 2023 says there, so hopefully we can figure out sometime then. But
I think they'll change the name of it too. I think it'll like have something. Because isn't that like I think that when is the Thor movie coming out in comparison to the Guardians movie?
that comes out in May of 2022.
Okay, and is it supposed
So
to
about
be
a year from now.
Is that supposed to be like a prequel type movie too, or is that supposed to be like right now?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm actually very excited for that movie as well.
Right, I am too. Those are probably my two favorite ones that I'm looking forward to: is the Guardians and the Thor.
Yeah, same. More or less because like I'm just like fascinated to be like what could Thor be up to, after
Right. Well, I mean, they kind of like
Endgame and
sent him
stuff.
off like he was going to be part of the Guardians, which is what I'm
Right.
assuming is still happening. So that's why I'm
Exactly.
that's why I'm
awesome
kind of
scene
wondering.
between him and Christopher Pratt.
Yeah, like I'm just wondering how
Man, the myth.
that's going to tie in. Like if they're going to keep that story going, or if it's going to be like before Endgame and Infinity War. But like, I don't know.
I wonder if it's gonna be like which is one of those Marvel things where like it's like after they like leave Earth like in the spaceship and stuff like that.
Right,
Like,
like
just
are they
take a
just
break
gonna like
right
are the
after.
Guardians just gonna be like in the Thor movie, like kind of like Civil
Exact-
War, where it like wasn't just a
Yeah.
Captain America movie, like everyone else was there. That's kind of my thought process. Is like, are they just gonna have the Guardians be with Thor in this movie the whole time, or
seeing right, so like Thor left with the Guardians at the end of Endgame,
Right.
and now Thor is coming out before Guardians.
right? That's why
So,
I'm
like,
confused now that I'm looking at the like slate.
Yeah, it's like, is this just an one like a one shot? Like,
Right. He's like, hold on,
so-
guys. They have like a 2-second
like-
shot.
Love and Thunder, like what does that even give us?
Not a lot.
I'm not super read up on Thor or anything like that. So to
Well,
me, it
didn't-
doesn't. There's no clues there.
Didn't they say that Natalie Portman's gonna be in it too?
Yeah, I heard that she was gonna be like. So in the comics, you know how like, I don't know which one it was, but like how like she got like cancer or whatever, and then she became like Thor.
Right.
Like,
She has
the-
superheroes
Thor.
or superpowers.
Yeah.
I mean.
I think she. I don't know. They might be bringing that into the movie.
That's
could
what I
be wrong.
think. Because
Yeah.
if she's in it, I mean, that's what I would assume, right?
The main villain is Gore the God Butcher, and that's gonna be played by Christian Bale. They confirmed
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So,
That should be
That's
cool
sweet.
in itself.
That's gonna be cool.
Mhm.
Just like I can't wait to see what he does. So
Get some Christian Bale in the MCU. Hell yeah.
If
Right
only
on.
he does his Batman voice, though, that's when he's allowed in.
where's the trigger?
I mean, I don't know.
Oh,
I'm excited for it. I don't know. Like, when Phase 3 started, I was kind of like, I didn't know who the Guardians were, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I tend to stick to the characters that we know, so I'm more excited for like Guardians and Thor and like building on stories we already know more than new stories, but that's just like my personal taste of stuff. I tend to like just like not like new stuff right away, but like I was proven wrong though, because like I loved Guardians and I really never read much of them before I saw the movies. We'll see.
Oh yeah, no, same. And then that's funny because last week I literally got 2 fucking Guardian Omnis in the
Yeah, those are
mail
pretty cool.
that I got. Yeah, dude. So yeah, Guardians was definitely one of those ones where when they came out, I was like, what? Like, why are they? Why are they making a movie with them? And then they
Right.
turn out to be like, one of the most important players in the whole
Right.
end game, let's say.
Literally, I mean, Endgame wouldn't have had to happen if Sir Star-Lord wasn't a little ruining it for everybody.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, lots coming out with Marvel. Lots to look forward to. Lots of fun getting back to the movie theaters. Hopefully,
Yeah, that's what I'm excited for, is that we can just all go to the movies all the time now. Like, I'm getting my
Absolutely, I
AMC
miss it.
membership again pretty soon. Once like movies start coming out, like I'd say probably like end of June.
Hey.
Then I'll be going 3 times a week like I used to do.
There we go.
So moving on here, we're gonna remind you that this next segment is gonna be a bit spoiler heavy, because we're gonna start talking about the Bad Batch right now. And the reason I want to jump into the segment so quickly is because I need to get caught up and I want to kind of know what's going on. Nick and Kev are a little more versed in Star Wars than I am, but guys, I'd love to hear like your take on the show, like kind of like what's going on.
Well, before I go in, I'm just gonna like say like whoever's like like Dave Filoni and like whoever else is like the creators of the Bad Batch, making this great show. Like they're doing a fucking outstanding job because this is what the fans want. We want like more continuous stories in Clone Wars, styled art. So
Yeah.
Kudos to you guys. I don't know if they're gonna watch this, but whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's one of our
They're
6
tuned in.
viewers. Filoni's watching.
But yeah, I mean, like, I personally like it just because it literally takes place like right, during like the end of Revenge of the Sith, basically. Like, we see in the beginning that we're on some sort of like snowy planet, and this like clone battalions like in battle with what's her name, Depa Apla or whatever.
Yep.
She's like that Jedi. Yeah, but it's her and like Caleb Doom, who's Kanan in Rebels. Which I thought was pretty cool. The one thing I didn't like about that though was the fact that like the guy that voiced him, it's the same dude, but they didn't really do much with his voice. It looked like he hit puberty.
He already hit puberty, alright? His voice was the same.
Yeah. He's like, hey, I'm here.
No, but I love that. I love the attention to detail though, because if you watch in season, I think it's 6 of the Clone Wars, they have like them on a hologram that they're like talking to like Yoda and them they're like right before that scene, and it kind of continues right into it.
Yeah.
So that was cool attention to detail. Like if you go back and watch the Clone Wars, like the episode that came out like 3 years ago, it's that like they're in it. So like it's like super seamless. Like I like how they like kind of like how the Clone Wars last season was in general. They just like seamlessly added it in. It's kind of got that Rogue One effect to it, which I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But like what surprised me was just like, during like that little battle that they had when the Bad Batch came in, Order 66 happens and, all the clone troopers turn on the Jedi, but like,
they do.
The Bad Batch is just like, oh, like what's going on? Like, but I mean, like they're all defective clones anyway. So,
right, that's the thing, is their chip doesn't respond the same way that the other guys do.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I mean, like other than that, the show like was really cool. Be just seeing like the Emperor like talking to everybody on Camino. Same scene from when the Empire was basically made, Revenge of the Sith.
Right.
I like that, and I like how we have a new character named Omega. That's pretty cool. She's like she's technically what, like the 5th defective clone or whatever. Yeah.
The 6th. Nope, 5th.
Is it? Well, I mean, no,
Because Echo's
but
not.
like Echo's not. Yeah, so there's only 5.
Well, the good thing that's the part you like, because she's like my only complaint. She's just like a Steve Irwin Grogu. Like in the 3rd episode, Matt, you really didn't miss much. Remember the episode of The Mandalorian where they go to the ice cave because they have to like break down because they're getting chased by the X-Wings, and then the whole episode is like Grogu's going in the hot ice bath, Grogu's going and eating eggs. It's the same shit with Omega. Like the 2nd episode, they literally almost get caught because Omega's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go here and sniff the flowers." And then in this episode, it's the same thing. Her and Hunter go off on a little mission, and they have to go find a missing piece of their ship. And so it's just Hunter and Omega, and she's just doing the same stuff. Like, "Oh, I just randomly found exactly what you needed." Like, I can't stand her. She's just, the whole episodes are just side quests because like she wants to go off and do stuff, and it's just becoming what Grogu was. But like, I hate her voice, so like, it just makes me mad. Like the show should be about the Bad Batch going through the galaxy, fighting clones, fighting stormtroopers, like doing what like. The 1st episode was sick. Like, it was the introduction of the characters. It talked about the Death Troopers. It talked about the Empire in the building, and you had like Tarkin, and they like were like feeding us exactly what we wanted. But now it's turning into like, are they big bad guys, or are they gonna help the little innocent character? Like literally the whole 2nd season of The Mandalorian, and like it's just happening. And these episodes are 20 minutes long, and they're just like wasting their time trying to like show like that side of like, oh, they're not just bad, they're good people. Look at them taking care of this little kid. Like a Wrecker in this last episode like makes her a bed on the ship and like gives her fucking stuffed animal. Like, wow, cool. Like, I don't like I don't need it again. Like, we already had the story of like, we're grizzled old soldiers, but like we're gonna be nice to this kid. Like, just why is the kid even involved in the storyline? Just like progress with like them making their way in the galaxy as the Bad Batch. Like, they're like the Republic Commandos. Like, they're badass. Like, all they do is they just go around and kill people and like do little side missions and stuff. But like now it's turning into like, it's the same exact thing. They're just copy and pasting it from The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I get that it tells a story, but like for people that know who they are, like it's not adding to their story. They're just like doing the same thing with Din. We're like, oh, he's not a bad guy. Look, he has a soft spot for kids. Like we don't need that.
Way, they're gonna. I mean, Omega's gonna have like probably some sort of like, role like towards the end.
I mean, I could already tell you right now, she's just gonna have a force ability, and that's gonna be in the last episode. She's gonna like save them from like a ship falling on them or something.
Yeah.
That's it. And like you can already tell, it's one of those things where like you're watching stand-up comedy, and like you know what the guy's one-liner is gonna be, and he builds it up for 10 minutes, and you're like, oh, cool. Literally, thanks for wasting my time. Like,
she low-key looks like a clone of Palpatine and like Jango Fett. Like, look at her hair, dude. Like.
Yeah, no, but that's what she is. That's all the clones are from Jango Fett. They're just, in one way or another, she has Jango Fett's DNA.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just, like, how many times in the first 3 episodes are they gonna, like, be like, oh no, someone's in danger, and then they look to her, and it's, like, silence, and the camera's just like, is she gonna use the Force? They do it, like, 6 times in the first 2 episodes. Like, they just keep teasing it. Like, anyone with a brain that's watched a single episode of any Star Wars show knows that she's going to have Force abilities at the end of the show, and if they're not, they're just, like, messing with everyone and wasting everyone's time.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like, I really like the show. It's just those Grogu Jr. scenes just, like, ruin it for me. Like, The Mandalorian was, like, an hour long, so, like, you could, like, waste that time. Not waste it, but, like, it actually added to his character, because, like, we didn't know him, but, like, we already know these guys. We know that they're good guys. They're like actually trying to figure out what's going on with Crosshair and like try and like make things right. Like we already know that they have a moral compass. We don't need to have the damsel in distress keep going, oh, did I do that? And then they fix it for 10 minutes of the 20-minute episode. Like, it worked fine in the first episode because it was 70 minutes long. So like like the 10 minutes of them doing that with her was fine. It was only a seventh of the episode, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly. Okay.
But yeah, I just feel like there's not enough time in a 20-minute episode to have a 10-minute damsel in distress scene. And
Yeah,
I
you
hope
just
I
kind of
hope they
want you want it to progress a little bit.
Right, yeah, exactly. Like I said, like
For
in
a
The
20-minute
Mandalorian.
episode.
Yeah, exactly. Like in The Mandalorian, it's a full hour. Do whatever you want for 20 minutes. But like 20 minutes is the whole episode. Every minute you're wasting is, like get on with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
I
the
feel
third
that.
episode,
I
like
gotta
there
get
was
caught up.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying is the third episode, you'll see there's like no plot progression at all.
Yeah. So I
The
feel
only
like I could just kind of breeze right through them and just be like,
Yeah.
okay.
They literally they fucking it's one of those things where like a part in their ship doesn't work, so like they land on a desolate planet and have to go find the piece. And then Omega saves them.
Your typical side quest.
Yeah, your typical like what they would do in The Mandalorian when they didn't have the budget for a full impactful episode. They're like, "All right, guess we're going to find something on a planet." Oh no, Grogu, why are you eating that egg? Oh, that egg's going to kill you. Uh-oh. Like, you know?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
No, dude, I liked The Mandalorian a lot though.
No, I do too. I
just
bashed
to
those
speak to that.
episodes, but like as a show, it's a very good
Oh
show.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah,
Like
absolutely.
they could
No, I
afford
see where you're
doing
coming
that.
from.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And like you said, some of those things kind of add to Grogu's character, and
Right.
It was fun. I'm sure it was for the people that wanted to see the cutesy little, parts. That's what it
Right,
was
and that's
there
what they're
for.
trying to do. They're trying to like Ewok them and just like sell a T-shirt with Omega going,
Yeah.
"Oh no, I'm a clone." Like I don't need that.
I don't need that.
Like like whatever. Like we already just like maybe in like 3 shows from now do it again, but like it's literally the same. Like it's the last show. Like we've already seen this. I'm over it. I don't need another plush of the damsel in distress character from the Star Wars show.
Right.
Because there's
Right
a
on.
long
Right
rant.
on. Right on. Do we know how many episodes it's supposed to be?
Wasn't it?
I don't. Huh?
Wasn't it 13?
It's 13
What are you
episodes.
saying over there, Kev?
I heard it was like 13. Yeah. At least.
13 episodes, and
I
we're
said-
four deep.
3.
3 deep. Okay,
Yeah.
so I mean, plenty of time for some plot progression and some
Right.
shit to hit the fan.
But that's literally
So,
all
sure,
that
they're
happened.
just establishing their footing.
Right, but all that happened in this episode was, Tarkin got he got ranked up in the Empire, which you'd only notice if you're a super nerd and like read his freaking chest badges. Then, they showed that Crosshair was the leader of the Death Troopers, who were just like regular soldiers, and like he's their leader now, and they're like the first edition of the Death Troopers. And that's it. That's literally those are the only really major plot points.
And then that's the Bad Batch, folks. There you have it. So right, exactly. So like we said, plenty of time for some plot to progress.
Yep.
And the show to kind of flesh itself out. So well, now that I'm more caught up, I feel like I can breeze right through those episodes and just be where we need to be to finish up that show. But yeah. So for a weekly episode show, 20 minutes, we're getting what we get for now.
Yeah.
Moving on though to some crazy DC news that we got going on. I know Kev is very excited for
licking
this
his
portion
lips.
of the
I am
podcast
super
here. Being DC
Kevin,
fanboys.
what are you doing?
I'm actually drawing right now. This is a Patterson Batman.
Look at this guy.
Good everybody.
I feel like he's like
Yeah.
the guy at
Yeah.
like the auditorium show that you'd like skip class for, and he's like talking to the audience while he's drawing something. He's like, "Oh, then look at this piece of work right here."
Kevin,
is,
the
uh,
artist.
Nonchalant art.
Yeah. So we got Kevin the artist over here. Wait to see him soon. He's coming at you.
We're not
so
doing a
we just-
podcast or anything. Just do your
So we just got word the other day that The Long Halloween Part 2 is coming out. It's a 2-part animated series, clearly. We talked about it in our last podcast. in just a few words.
Wait, so
Long Halloween is essentially just a detective Batman
did
story.
they release the first one?
Not yet.
I was
Not yet.
confused. Yeah, because like that's what I was gonna ask you. Sorry for interrupting, but like I was gonna
No,
ask
that's fine.
because like they released the trailer for the first one, and then they released the trailer for the second one. So like, wouldn't you like think that
Right.
they released the first one?
Why don't they just
I
freaking put both
guess.
things combined? You know what I mean? Like instead of just bringing it into two parts. You
Well, I
know,
mean,
they should,
I guess I like, you know, like we said. So like I said, quick synopsis is that it's a detective Batman story. There's a murder that takes place every kind of like major holiday throughout a year, starting on Halloween. Um, that's the flesh and bones of it. So right, exactly. I mean, in the book is kind of split up where it's
yeah,
the long Halloween and then the dark victory. So, but watching the trailer, it kind of seemed like it was the same movie anyway. I mean, I know the story kind of takes place in the continuity, you know, it's one after the other,
right.
but it didn't look like it was like clearly broken down into two parts.
yeah.
You know, it was clearly it's like clearly one movie. So
Mhm.
yeah, why they're breaking it down into two parts, I don't know, but I guess DC is just doing their thing.
Yeah. One step at a time.
I'm really looking forward to it. There's a really, really good voice casting that they have for it. If you don't know, um, or if you're interested to find out, you can Google it and get the whole list. But there's some fantastic, fantastic names in there. Even harking back to the old Batman animated series. So,
Which is cool. I like that. They wanted
which
that.
is very, very cool, very cool. So a lot of people are looking forward to this. It was a very popular book, so it's about time it got its due for a little animated show. And animated, I think, is definitely the way to go. There's really not a great way to live action this without it,
Yeah, there
you
are
know,
certain
playing
tales
out
on.
like a yeah, exactly. There's certain some ones you just kind of
Right, you got to keep it in comic form. It doesn't come right
for
on
sure,
live action.
for for sure, it'd be like a live person version of Clue, you know,
Right.
with Batman. uh, but we also got the Green Lantern movie coming up. We've heard a lot about this um, recently. There's been a lot of talk about it um, on which lantern it's going to be kind of focused on and stuff like that. A lot of people know Hal Jordan as the Lantern, but there's other lanterns like Kyle Rayner, John Stewart, Kilowog. There's tons. So the new Green Lantern movie. Kev, I know you're a big Green Lantern guy.
Yep. So just to correct you though, it's the
Oh,
HBO Max show.
oh,
Oh, it is the HBO Max show. Oh, it's not the. Oh, that's right. It's not a movie.
They
It's gonna
are,
be the
they are
show.
still so they are still doing a movie, and that's supposed to be based off mainly on Hal Jordan and John Stewart. But this show in particular is just like the whole like core itself. So
Okay, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
yeah. So the show it's
Thank you for
supposed
the
to
correction.
the I got you. The main like the main character is supposed to be Guy Gardner, who's played
Yeah.
by this dude from American Horror Story. It's I think his name's like something.
Wait, I
I
thought it
don't
was American Vampires.
Oh,
Oh no,
correction.
American Horror.
Correction.
American Horror. Yeah. I think he's a good actor. I mean, I forget his name, but like I've seen pictures of him. I've seen some of his work. He does a pretty decent job. He's playing Guy Gardner, which I'm pretty excited to see, just because Guy Gardner in the comics is kind of a douche, but
Oh,
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
he's still a Green Lantern. And then we got I
Oh,
guess this
Finn Whitrock. Sorry.
Yeah, why did I say Finn Whitrock? Yeah, that's him. And then some dude like was rumored but it wasn't confirmed to be Alan Scott, Green Lantern, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So like, and Alan Scott's supposed to be like, the first Green Lantern from like Earth, I think. That like we know from like, the original comics. So I don't know if like he's gonna be like around during the show, like with the current characters, or if they're gonna do like flashback scenes. But
Fair.
I don't know. It's some young actor. I forget his name too, but he's supposed to be like rumored to be playing that character. So we'll see what happens.
Hell yeah.
I like that.
I'm excited for some Green Lantern stuff. I'm a big Green Lantern fan myself.
Yeah.
I mean the Ryan Reynolds movie was just all right, you know. There was some hits and misses, but really I'm hoping to see with it in a show format. I think that'll be cool. I
Yeah.
think that'll be really cool. Um, and then I mean next up we got a Flash movie
Oh,
coming up soon with Michael Keaton is supposed to be starring in it as Batman, you know, making an appearance.
yeah. What is that? Like, what?
So I mean, so if they're casting Michael Keaton as Batman, I mean, I love his original Batman.
Yeah.
But if they're casting him as Batman, clearly he's gonna be playing an older
Right. Like, are they
Bruce
just
Wayne.
like getting rid of
I'm
like
not.
modern Bruce Wayne and they're just like grizzled Batman,
Well,
multiverse
Ben
Batman?
Affleck doesn't want to play Batman anymore. He like
Right.
announced it a while ago. We know this.
Right. So like, how
but
are they doing this? Like, wow, Batman, he like has Obi-Wan syndrome. Like he's gonna like skip like 30 years of aging.
Well, the DC universe wants to, explain the multiverse. That's why, if you've seen Crisis, you've seen Flash, interact with CW's Flash. And, that's a big starter for the multiverse. So
Yeah.
I feel like the reason why they're using Michael Keaton's Batman and bringing him back is not only because, Ben Affleck is, hanging up the cape, but just because they want to, like, give the idea to the audience, like, oh, hey, like, this is still a DC universe. Like, we still want to, like, have like all these characters like intermingle and interact in some way, and why not do that with like a really well-known character? So I find it great that they're bringing back Michael Keaton. So
Yeah, same.
Yeah, that'll be definitely
like,
cool.
it's like it's like it's like in A Force Awakens you bring back Han Solo, right? Like that was a big like audience like comeback. So like it's gonna be something like this too. But I don't know. I'm pumped for it regardless.
Yeah.
So
I'm definitely interested to see how it goes.
So,
Yeah, me too. Me too. I think I heard it might be centering kind of like around Flashpoint or something like that, kind of dealing with that stuff. Which is a pretty sweet, like pretty crazy comic like idea, like crazy for comics.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I don't know if you get how much Flash you guys have read. I like Flash a lot.
I think
Um, yeah, I like Flash.
Flash.
So definitely gonna be looking forward to that. The newest movie that we have kind of coming at us is gonna be a Batgirl movie. So I haven't heard much about this. Kevin's the one that's actually brought this one to the table.
What I heard about that movie was just the guys that directed fuck, what was that movie? Shit,
Guardians of the Universe 2.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Hey,
it's these two guys. They're like brothers, but they directed a movie recently.
the Russos.
It's not the Russos. It's somebody else. I don't know. I forget, honestly. I'm like, my brain's all like messed up right now trying to fucking remember it. But they announced it. It's gonna be an HBO Max exclusive movie. So
HBO Max seems to be the way to go these days.
yeah, didn't like, nah, fucking forget.
Yeah, like HBO Max is getting all these contracts there.
Yeah,
Making all the big bucks.
Yeah, well, I mean, damn, I mean, I feel like HBO's always been like that, though.
Yeah, HBO Max definitely always seizes the opportunity.
For sure, for sure. And then last but not least, we have a Batman animated series, a new Batman animated series coming. They're kind of revamping it. We have some people like J.J. Abrams kind of working on producing it and stuff like that. So I think we can expect some big action, some big events. You know, I think we can expect them to do a decent job with it. You know,
Yeah.
and coming with that, not together, but just announced as well. I don't know if you've played the games or the comics, but Injustice is getting an animated series as well, which in my mind is huge, because Injustice is starting to gain a lot of popularity in both video games and comic books.
Mhm.
So it was only due time until it got an animated series.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a cool Elseworld tale, honestly. I mean, it's like a nice kind of standalone tale. Like you could go pick up Injustice Volume 1 and you wouldn't need any other backstory to get into it. It's its own story.
Right.
So I think it's going to be very accessible to a lot of people, and maybe rein in some like DC fans that only know of DC through the game. They're not maybe comic people.
Right, would you know that
You
there are a
know,
ton of those people? Because I even like know people offhand
for
that are like
sure.
that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely people that have played the game but, have never read a comic book or watched any of the other series. So hopefully, this reins in some more people.
Kevin?
Oh, Kevin has disappeared.
I apologize. Can you see me? Hear me? Hello.
Yeah, I
We can hear you,
There
Kev.
you go.
Hello.
There he is.
Kevin, the
Sorry
star
about
of the
that, guys.
show.
Hey, it's all good. But anyway, moving into our last segment of the evening tonight, we're just gonna wrap up with just a few more Star Wars things. We've already kind of talked about Dave Filoni coming in and taking over Lucasfilm. I mean, all in all, I think we can all agree that this is a good thing.
Yeah, that's one of the better decisions they've made in a while. We saw
For
it so
sure,
much with him in the Clone
absolutely.
Wars and being a big part of the Mandalorian. He definitely deserves the spot that he's in, and I'm looking forward
Man's
to
a
it.
legend
Right.
in Star Wars, dude. It's between him and
Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau. I mean, there's so many Johns and stuff.
Mhm.
Handling Star Wars and also a little bit of Marvel and stuff like that. Man,
Yeah.
I think we're in very good hands here.
Yeah.
I don't think we have a whole lot to worry about. The franchise is in good hands.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what comes in the future. Filoni's he's doing the Bad Batch, so there's a lot of promise
Yeah.
with it. I mean, I feel like the second episode was kind of slow. The third episode was pretty slow, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if there's 13 episodes, there's definitely a lot of time for a lot of cool stuff to happen, and you know that he'll deliver on
It'll
it.
build back up.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So that'll be great. And then Nick being the Funko Pop collector that he is, as you can see by the ever expanding wall that amasses somehow more and more Funko Pops by the day.
Find a way to squeeze them in. Now they're actually up
and-
sideways up top, just to
Oh,
fit in the last row.
how mad are you that they just released all the Mandalorian
Dude,
Funko
I'm literally
Pops?
like I'm like actually out of room. Like I keep going like, oh, I just won't get
You
any
know,
more, and like
you keep saying that. You said that like 30 pops ago.
yeah, but like
maybe more, like maybe more.
now there like isn't actually any room. Like literally the only thing I can do is
Now
put them
there-
up on top like sideways, and that's it. But yeah, so they got
They're
some
even
pretty
they're
cool
even
ones.
taking over your table down there and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Oh my
actually, that's a
God,
good
pretty
point.
soon they're gonna like take over your bed and stuff like that. Oh my God.
That's why I can't buy anymore. Like I don't know. I was gonna buy the Bad Batch ones too, but they're just like I'm out of room. But yeah, there's some cool Mandalorian ones that are coming out. They're putting out an Ahsoka. There's a Death Trooper.
Nice.
The coolest one I think is they have a Din, who's the Mandalorian. They have him without his helmet on, holding Grogu, which I think is gonna be one of the coolest ones to go after.
That's sweet. That's gonna go quick too.
Right. Then I was actually
I did
surprised they
like-
didn't have a Luke one.
Yeah.
But I feel like they would announce it soon because sometimes they'll announce like a set and then they'll announce like the chases or the exclusives, and I bet you it'll be like a Funko Shop exclusive.
Yeah, it probably will be.
There we go. Yeah.
Him holding Grogu would be like a cool pop.
Or just him with the lightsaber with his hood on.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to hit up a comic book shop real soon, boys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I gotta get paid 6 times first.
Yeah, right. Don't we all?
Alright.
Well, that
Oh,
is
yeah.
it for our podcast tonight. We have covered all the topics that we wrote down for the evening. So in the future, we are in the process of getting ourselves to be doing the podcast together. You know, we'll all be in the same room at a table, kind of like nerds at the round table. You know, um, so we'll be able to be doing it live that way, giving you kind of a more higher production value of than what we're doing now, kind of just like being separated in our rooms and stuff like that. So soon enough we are going to be together and doing the podcast then. um, if you've been listening to the podcast, first off, we really appreciate it. If you've been keeping up with us this far, we'd appreciate it if you could just, hit the subscribe button, maybe leave a comment, share the video, like it. uh, the littlest things help, to help grow a channel and stuff like that. And we're trying to do the best we can to have some fun here. We're working on getting some guests coming on very soon. We have a little list of people growing. We're just trying to narrow down some dates. Things are tough nowadays. Everyone's busy, busy, busy. So
And it seems that I only find people in the UK, so
yeah, it seems like the Europeans are just around. They just want to hang out and talk all the time over coffee and stuff.
Um,
But once again, this is the Keepers of the Peace podcast. We appreciate you for listening, and Kev's gonna take us home.
Hello, Kevin.
yeah, bye.